and welcome to Half Horse Tarot. I am here with your monthly reading for the month of September 2018. Before we go ahead and get started, I do just want to say that I am filming these readings in the month of August. So if you have not checked out your monthly readings for August or your mid-month update for August, do make sure to go ahead and do that. Some of the energies from August are still going to be relevant to people throughout September. And also check out the readings for your moon sign and rising sign for those particular readings and for this one. Just in the event that you're listening to this and none of it makes any sense to you, or if it does resonate and you just want to get a little bit more information. So with that all being said, I will go ahead and get started. Front and center, central to your reading for the month of September is the Nine of Swords. You know, I really hate this card because it is so negatively connotated. But the caveat is that with the swords, it's all about your mental state. In other words, this is stuff that's going on largely in your head. So this card is basically the nightmare card, you know, being tormented, kind of on a mental level, just putting yourself through the ringer. So, you know, that it's that anxiety and fear and just a lot of negative emotions, so much so to the point that it becomes almost paralyzing. And I know, you know, my rising sign is Pisces, and I know that Pisces can be a bit emotional and can easily get caught in their own heads. And I think that that's going to be the struggle with some people for this month. Really trying to sort through whatever is going on in your life in order to alleviate that stress and that anxiety and fear so that you can move forward into the next stage, because you are at the 9, you know, next comes the 10, and the 10 of Swords is a painful card. So, you know, there's definitely something going on for a lot of people in the month of September, probably, you know, wrapping up through the end of the year. A lot of signs are going through major endings, you know, a lot of new beginnings. So there's kind of a chaotic energy going on right now. And I think that you guys are kind of at that precipice, and it's just a matter of releasing the fear and letting go, and then taking that step on into the next phase, whether that means letting go of something, releasing apprehension about moving into something new. It's going to apply differently for different people. So in your distant past, you guys have the Five of Cups. It is in the upright. So again, this could be something that you guys are still dealing with simply because it is in the upright, even though it is in the distant past. So the Five of Cups in the upright is all about, you know, grief, regret, really kind of dwelling on these 3 cups that have fallen and not noticing that there are 2 cups still standing right behind you. So, you know, on an emotional level, it's kind of like getting so caught up on what you've lost or what may not have worked out, you know, whatever is giving you a tough time emotionally, and not focusing on the positive things that are around you. So in the sense, kind of akin to the Nine of Swords, it's almost like being blinded, you know, kind of to the true state of things. Just being so caught up in your head and caught up in your feelings that you are tunnel vision and you can't really see that there are all these positive things that are surrounding you. So in your more recent history, we have the King of Wands in reverse. This can be a fire sign. If so, it can be male or female, sun, moon, or rising, and the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. If this is a person, another person, I really don't particularly like their energy. The King of Wands in the reverse can be somebody who is prone to impulsivity, angry outbursts, sometimes even physically. And because the Nine of Swords is the card right after that, and I'll get into the Oracle card here too later on, but this kind of reinforces the message. For some people, this will be somebody who is physically abusive or who was physically abusive in the past. So, you know, it could be a partner, a parent, you know, an acquaintance, somebody who probably wasn't treating you the way that you should have been treated. Some of you guys are possibly still going through that situation. I do think this is going to apply to a small minority of people, just because I don't think a lot of people are out there dealing with abusive situations. But if this does apply to you, you know, this card links up to the Two of Swords and the High Priestess in reverse, and it's just kind of like having blinders on in regard to the true nature of this person. So if there is somebody in your life who is prone to these angry outbursts, possibly even to the point where they are physically abusive, you're going to know if that's relevant to you, because that is past energy. It's not somebody coming in. And if that's the case, your challenge for the month is going to be really waking up to the kind of person that they are and seeing the degree of influence that they have over your life, and then trying to release them. Because ultimately, if you're in that kind of situation, it's obviously very dangerous. It has the potential to break bad really quick, and you deserve better. So do just keep that in mind. For others of you, it's not going to be another person. It's just going to be kind of your energy. Not feeling motivated, not feeling passionate, not feeling creative. All of that's kind of blocked. And so there's definitely an energy throughout the reading, you know, like I said, of paralysis, kind of like stagnation, not really going anywhere. It'll clear up for some people by the end of the month, but that's kind of like the overriding theme. It's just almost being stuck and not being able to really seize upon your inner strength, your inner drive, that motivation, and really push forward and accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. So it is past energy, and the reason why you may feel that stagnation is if you are still ruminating over some sort of loss or some sort of grief, regret, that Five of Cups energy. That can be holding some of you guys back from moving forward. So, coming into the month of September, it's going to be all about releasing that grief, releasing that negative emotion, and kind of starting to regain your own personal power. So the cards that are above your central issue are cards that I see as being external influences. These are things that somebody else could be doing to you, things that could be happening to somebody else in your life, energies that the universe could be bringing your way, or just as a general thing, things that are not within your control. They can also be things that are just going on in your head, maybe things that you're contemplating. And for you guys, I think it's going to be a combination kind of the two. So at the very top of your reading, you guys have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, just because it's in the reverse doesn't mean that it's a negative thing. With the aces, when they show up in the reverse, it's usually about blocked potential. So I see this as something that the universe is bringing your way. There is a new beginning on the way. So it's just a matter of flipping it from this position into this position. I do think there may also be delays for this to happen for some of you guys, and that may be why it's in the reverse. And I do think that if there is a delay in terms of this new path, it's just going to be because you're not quite ready yet, because you're still dealing with kind of a bunch of stuff, for this month. But once you are ready, I do think that things are going to start to slowly shift and move forward. So this new path, because it is a Pentacles suit, is going to be something more likely than not related to your material world. So this could be a new career, a job offer coming in, maybe you're going to purchase a new house, whatever it may be. It's probably going to be related to like your finances, your stability in a material sense. It doesn't necessarily have to be. In some cases, it can symbolize a relationship or something of that nature, but I'm not really getting a lot of romance cards, so I'm not inclined to think that's going to be the case for a lot of you guys. But whatever it is, this new beginning is going to be something that's going to bring you ultimately a lot more stability, because the Pentacles, while they may be the slowest suit to manifest, they are, generally speaking, the most stable suit. They have that earth energy. So whatever it is that's going to come in is going to be really, really solid and positive, and really allow you to build upon a solid foundation moving forward. So that's good. And then right above your central issue is the Two of Wands in reverse. Again, going back to that stagnation, that energy of not moving forward. The Two of Wands in the upright is all about making decisions. You have, two paths before you, two opportunities, two options, and you're kind of weighing up which one you want to go with. Generally speaking, the decision is between, do I want to stay on the path that I'm on, which may not be fulfilling, or do I want to take a gamble and go in a new direction? Because that's above you, I think that this is a debate that's kind of going on in your head. You have that blocked energy of not being able to make a choice, not knowing which path is right for you. Eventually, I think the path that you're going to choose is going to be this path upon which, the Ace of Pentacles is going to be guiding you. I just don't think that a lot of you guys are at that point where you're able to really see the light and figure out which opportunity or which path is going to be best for you. So that's just kind of like externally what's going on throughout this month. Again, I do think this is going to change for probably a lot of you guys, but it's just something to keep in mind that as you go out through the next couple of weeks, that may be something that you might be struggling with, but not to lose hope, because I really like that Ace of Pentacles being there, even though it is in the reverse. It says to me that something good is coming in. So the cards that are beneath you guys in the central issue are cards that are more foundational energies. So these could be energies that you've been dealing with for a long time now, or they can just be things that are more within your realm of control. So for most of you guys, I do think it's going to be the latter. I do think these are going to be things that are within your control. So we have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse right underneath y'all, and the Three of Pentacles in the upright is kind of about cooperating, working together to really get something to grow, especially in terms of your career or a business, getting going on something new, really taking the time to expand something, putting in the work in. And with that being in the reverse, I think that there may be some issues getting something new off the ground. And going back again, we have that kind of stagnant energy permeating throughout your reading. So I don't know if there are just delays in terms of decision making that are holding you back from being able to, flip that Three of Pentacles into the upright and really capitalize on that, and to start to, put in the work to build something new and to move forward. It's going to play out differently for a lot of you guys, but, for the most part, it's like that cooperation that you're looking for, that growth, that kind of like new direction in the incipient stages, it's not quite happening yet. And that makes sense again, because you do have that Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. There's a lot of blocked energy here. And right beneath the Three of Pentacles reverse, you guys have the High Priestess reverse. So this says to me one of two things. Some people, because the High Priestess in the upright is considered a passive card, she kind of sits on her secrets, on her knowledge, and doles it out as she sees fit. In the reverse, for some people, it'll take on the opposite of that. Less sitting around and more actual action, being more active as opposed to being passive. So that being within your control basically says that you do have the power to actualize some of the changes that you want to see happen. The ability to flip, that Ace of Pentacles into the upright is within your power and within your grasp. The ability to flip this King of Wands energy in the upright, to harness that creative energy, that passion and that motivation, that is within your power. The ability to flip that Two of Swords into the reverse and get out of that stagnation, remove that blindfold, again, within your power. And some of you guys are going to actually seize upon that and make the decision consciously to be more active and less passive, and that'll help propel you forward. Others of you are really just going to need to listen to your intuition, tune within. Some of you guys may even be getting signs and symbols and messages from the universe, from spirit, whatever you believe in. Things may be coming in to help guide you along the right path. What's going to be important is not getting so caught up in your head that you don't see the signs and messages that are coming in, or that you don't shut out your own intuition and put yourself in a situation where you're not really making the best choices, and just kind of blinding yourself, and therefore pretty much holding yourselves back. So it's going to play out differently for you guys, and it's just going to be a matter of, you know, where you're at personally in this stage of life that you are. So, but generally speaking, I do think everybody can benefit from being, you know, more open to listening to that gut instinct, going with their intuition. So that is just something to keep in mind that is within your realm of control. And also, again, making sure that you are looking at people and situations realistically. And again, trusting your gut when it comes to, especially those of you who are maybe dealing with somebody who, like I said, could be abusive or just prone to being angry a lot, and that really kind of toxic and volatile energy. Not allowing yourselves to be blinded to that and being willing to really kind of stare that truth in the face. So moving forward, in your near future, you guys have the Two of Swords in the upright. Again, stagnant energy. You know, this the female in this card has some sort of decision to make, but she is choosing to passively wait until she feels she has enough information to make the right choice. So again, that may be where some of you guys kind of are at. You might be weighing up your options, and you're not really going to make any forward movement until you feel that you have everything you need to properly move forward with as much awareness and clarity as possible. So it's not necessarily negative. The only danger that you're going to run into is that you might miss out on opportunities because you're unwilling to, you know, take off that blindfold and actually make a decision. And, you know, inadvertently just kind of holding yourselves back. So that is something to pay attention to as you go through the month of September. It's fine to take some time to think things through and to make a solid decision, but just don't spend so much time stuck in your own head that you kind of miss out on things that may be going on around you, opportunities that may be coming in. Now, that all sounds kind of like a really sucky reading, but the one thing I'm extremely encouraged by is the Judgment card at the end of the month. So Judgment is all about getting a wake-up call, getting clarity, rebirth, coming, like really kind of going off on a new path, because Judgment is the 20th card in the major arcana. 21 is the World. So you're almost at the end of that cycle. Like, you are almost there. And when Judgment comes in, once that horn gets blown, it's like all of the indecisiveness and the murkiness in your head, all of that just will disappear. And you're really going to be able to maybe sort through these negative emotions you've been dealing with, get something off the ground that you've been struggling to get going, or make a decision that you're having a hard time weighing up and figuring out which path is the best one for you. So I do like that the reading ends on Judgment, because that says to me that a lot of you guys are going to make positive movement forward in terms of actively sorting through whatever it is in your life that, you know, is kind of repressive, whether that be another person, a work situation, relationship, or just generally your own mental state. And then by the end of the month, really having that wake-up call, and then being able to take that energy and move that forward throughout the end of the year. So the overall energy for your spread is the Sun in reverse, which again kind of goes back to what I've been saying. The Sun is the most positive card, arguably, in the tarot deck. Even when it shows up in the reverse, it's still a positive card. In this particular depiction of the Sun, you have this wheel here, which is almost akin to like the Wheel of Fortune, and it has all the zodiac signs on it. So to me, when this shows up in the reverse, it's like there's just some sort of delay into getting that positive energy to flip into the upright. It doesn't mean that it's not coming. In fact, it is going to be coming your way. It just might take a little bit more time. And I think that the reason for that delay might be, again, kind of because of things that are going on in your own head and having to sort through a lot of that indecisiveness, the mental blinders that you may have put up. And then once this Judgment kind of comes in, I think a lot of you guys are going to be working to flip that Sun energy into the upright and have that really working in your favor. So I do have some oracle cards here that give a little bit more information about the past energies and the future energies that you may be dealing with. So for the past, you guys got the hippopotamus, who represents volatility. And this card, its description is actually mentions specifically people who may be victims in abusive situations. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to be a victim of physical abuse, but because, again, I see these two cards here and even the negative emotions surrounding the Five of Cups, I don't really like that. So some people are definitely going to be dealing with a situation where they are being manipulated or possibly even abused. That is past energy, but some of you guys are going to be carrying it with you throughout the month, probably until you have that judgment, that wake-up call come in for you guys. For others of you, it's just generally about not allowing yourselves to be a victim, remembering that you do have a voice, speaking up on behalf of yourself, and just not really being a doormat, not letting people walk all over you, and just kind of gliding through life, letting people use you however they feel is best for them. Really kind of coming into your own personal power and putting your foot down and saying, it's time that I do what's best for me. So as long as you guys start to let go of this stuff and move forward, I think that you're going to be able to get rid of that volatile energy that's been kind of overshadowing you in the past. So the energy that you have moving forward through the month of September is the dolphin or breath. And the dolphin shows up to remind you that you are not as alone as you may think you are. You have plenty of support, especially on a spiritual level. You are basically somebody who, you don't make mistakes. Every decision that we make, everything that happens in our lives happens, I don't want to say for a reason, because I know people have an issue with that, but basically there's a lesson to be learned in everything. The only mistakes that we make are when we do things and we don't learn from them. So as long as you remember that, you're not alone and the failings or the errors of your past don't define you, then you're going to be okay moving forward. It's also a reminder to really just take some time to relax and breathe. Don't let that anxiety-ridden energy associated with the Nine of Swords kind of crush you and weigh you down. Just take some moments to take a time out and really center yourselves, and that's going to help bring you the clarity that you guys are seeking. So, overall, there's definitely a lot of volatile energies, some cases even toxic here, and just generally speaking stagnation. But I think by the end of the month, a lot of you guys are going to start breaking through that stagnant energy and really being able to harness the more positive aspects of both yourselves and then also things that are going on around you within your life, even your support groups, friends, family, whatever, and using that to move forward into the future. So it's definitely not an overwhelmingly negative reading, even though it kind of sounds like it. By the end of the month, things are going to probably be looking up for a lot of you guys. So I do hope that this resonated with some of you guys. If it did, please go ahead and let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If you like the video, I would definitely appreciate giving it a thumbs up, sharing it, subscribing to the channel. I want to go ahead and take a moment to thank all of you who've already done so for the videos for August, just watching them, giving them thumbs up, leaving encouraging comments, and subscribing to the channel. It's definitely really appreciated as I'm starting to get this channel off the ground. So again, if this reading didn't resonate, do make sure to check out your moon sign and your rising sign. And with that all being said, I will see you guys in a couple of weeks with your mid-month updates.